This is how to manifest any desire in just 17 seconds. What's up, superheroes? Welcome to my channel, the place where we make the impossible possible. I'm Scarlet Grace, and I help people break through their limitations and manifest their heart's desires with the law of attraction, the law of assumption, and Neville Goddard's teachings. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icons because I put out new videos to help you manifest all of your heart's desires every Sunday. And if you need some extra help or my personal advice for your situation, you can sign up for coaching. And I also have several courses that you can do, including a 21-day course on how to manifest your specific person. So if you're interested, use the links in the description to check all of those out. So today I want to talk about how to manifest anything in 17 seconds. The 17-second manifestation method actually comes from Abraham Hicks, but what I wanted to do in this video is I wanted to give you my personal adaptation of that method that actually fits perfectly with Neville Goddard's techniques and show you how you can actually use this very short, very simple method. I mean, it's just 17 seconds of your time, right? To manifest any desire that you have and to enhance any other method that you use to manifest that desire. So first of all, what is the 17-second manifestation method? You probably already know that in order to manifest anything in your reality, you need to imagine that you already have it. The 17-second method says that if you can imagine that without going into any other thoughts, without going into your doubts, into your worries, into anything contradictory, if you can fully and completely immerse yourself in this new reality for 17 seconds, that is what sets everything into motion. That is what sets the bridge of incidents into motion that will manifest your desire. So let me tell you how this method can actually work to make your desire manifest much faster in your reality. So here's what happens when people first hear about manifesting. They hear that they can use a specific technique to manifest a desire into their reality. And they try with small things maybe. So maybe they try to manifest a cup of coffee, or a few extra dollars today, or finding coins on the street, or finding a feather, something small like that. And it usually works. The problem happens when you want to manifest something that you consider life-changing in some way. So if it's one of those quote-unquote big desires, because there are no big and small desires when it comes to manifesting. Any desire that you have can manifest just as easily. The method is exactly the same. If you know how to use it and how to apply it, and if you fully commit to it, it will manifest. Doesn't matter if it's a cup of free coffee or your dream job. Those two are exactly as easy to manifest from a manifestation point of view. But here's what's actually happening in your daily life that makes those big desires that we have often feel difficult to manifest, often feel like things that take a lot of effort, a lot of imagining, a long time in order for them to manifest in your reality. There is a part of our brains that is called the reticular activating system. Now, I've talked about this in many different videos and in many different ways. In fact, I have a recent video about how to use that part of your brain to rewire your beliefs and automatically create a new identity, and you can click to watch it up to the right, and also I'll put the link in the description below. But basically, what that part does is create selective attention. That means that if you have a belief, or if you focus on something, your brain is wired to point your attention to all the things that match that belief. So for example, so that you can see how this works, imagine that you just decided that you want to buy a new car, or you want to turn your hair pink. Suddenly, you start wondering, how come you see all those people with pink hair? Or how come so many cars that are the exact model and color that you want drive by your house? And you think that's crazy, but the reason this happens is because now that you're focusing on that thing, your brain points your attention to those things that match what you have been focusing on. So suddenly, your brain is wired to point your attention to how many people have pink hair, when before it didn't register as important. And the same thing happens with our thoughts. So if you have a belief, your brain is wired to point out all the things that support that belief. Now, if this is a positive belief, that is great, because if, for example, you have the belief, I'm so loved, if you wake up today and the first thought that hits you is how deeply loved you are and how grateful you are that you have so many great people that care about you and support you and are your friends. This is great because you will go about your day and your brain, your reticular activating system, will make important all the moments during the day that reaffirm that belief that you're deeply loved, that people care about you, that people have your back. But the thing is, the exact same process works if you have a negative belief or if you're focusing on something negative. So if you wake up today and the first thought that hits you is, oh, I'm single, I'm lonely, what am I doing with my life? Your brain will selectively focus and overemphasize during the day all those moments that will validate basically your feeling that you're lonely, you're single, and what the heck are you doing with your life? You're just wasting time. Now, it doesn't mean that other things didn't happen during the day that prove the opposite, that prove that you're a wonderful person, that you're successful, that you're going exactly to the places that you want in your life. But your brain will not focus on those moments. You're focusing on negative things, so your brain is wired to make the negative things important, to point them out to you, and to basically shove under the rug all the moments that are positive, all the things that support that you're a great person, that you're successful, that you're deeply loved, that you can have everything you want, and you end up feeling bad. And then when you go to meditate, when you go to use your affirmations to create the reality you want, what happens? What happens is it feels fake. Because come on, this is not what my life looks like. How am I supposed to believe that I'm loved? Did you see that guy? Did you see how my boss treated me today? Or did you see how my friend blew me off again to go out with another boyfriend or go out on another date? I'm not important, or stuff like that, because that's what your brain has been focusing on all day. And the thing is, we are very, very used, without even realizing it, to point our reticular activating system to the things that we don't want in our reality. And here's how this works. So most people wake up in the morning, and what is the first thing that we do? I don't know if you do it, but what is the thing that most people do the moment they open their eyes in the morning? Is it meditating? Is it imagining? Is it affirming? Is it any of that? No. The first thing most people do the moment they open their eyes in the morning is grab their smartphone. And how exactly do you use that smartphone? What do you do with it when you grab it first thing in the morning? Do you check your affirmations? Do you find a meditation to do that will put you in the state of the wish fulfilled, as if your desire is already yours? No, the thing that we usually do is something like we go on Instagram, for example, or we go on Facebook. We look at other people's feeds. We see what other people that we know have posted. Some people just check celebrities' feeds and they feel bad about themselves. So what that means is the moment you open your eyes in the morning, you go into your current reality. You basically use those seconds that your brain is still in a state where it is very easily influenced. You can easily plant something in your subconscious mind, plant the seed of the thing that you want to manifest in your reality. But instead, most people use that time to just reaffirm their circumstances, basically. So the moment you open your eyes, you do those things that tell you that, yeah, I still don't have the money. I still don't feel beautiful enough. I still don't have the specific person. And then you drink your coffee or your tea or you start your daily activities. And if that's the time when you sit down to meditate, you sit down and start meditating. You create your imaginal scene, or you use a scene that you have already created, or you grab your list of affirmations. And suddenly there's resistance there. And of course there's resistance because you started your day by reaffirming your circumstances instead of starting your day by affirming what you actually want to see in your reality. You not only didn't start the day by living from the end, but you actually actively did something to make your current circumstances, your current life, with both wanted and unwanted things, more real and concrete. So then when you go to meditate, or when you go to use your affirmations, or when you start scripting, it's harder to put yourself in that mood. It's harder basically to put yourself in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, because you have this contrast in your mind of what you just saw and what you actually want to create. And then let's move on to your lunch break. How do you spend your lunch break? Do you actually meditate? Do you use your affirmations? Or do you grab your smartphone first to check what other people are doing, to read the news? And what happens when you get off work? What's the first thing that you do? We usually grab our phones and then we go home and we eat dinner, and sometimes we eat dinner watching the news, so we watch all those horrible things, and none of those things actually have anything to do with the reality that we want to create for ourselves. So we basically do all those things that pull us out of the state of the wish fulfilled before we even try to get into it. And then we struggle. Then it feels difficult to manifest your desire. Then when you imagine, when you do your meditation, immersing yourself in that feeling of the wish fulfilled and imagining that your desire has already manifested, then it feels fake. And it makes sense that it feels fake because we did all those things to reaffirm the old reality, basically. And we spend way more time during the day to reaffirm the old reality than we spend to affirm the reality we want to create. And this is what we need to actually reverse in order to manifest any desire. So how does the 17-second manifesting method actually help break that pattern? The benefit of the 17-second manifestation rule is basically in the title. It literally takes 17 seconds to do. Now that doesn't mean that you cannot spend longer on this technique if that's what you like and if you have the time. But basically the minimum time you need for it to work is 17 seconds. So what if, instead of being lost and fully immersed in your physical circumstances with all their limitations all day long, and only get back in the state of the wish fulfilled when you do your meditation or when you're using your affirmations, what if you use this 17-second technique as an easy way to pull yourself back into your state? And what if you used it to make sure that you start the day without having to spend a long time on difficult and complicated techniques, to basically program your reticular activating system to act in your favor instead of against you, to do the job of pointing out all the things that support that your manifestation is not just likely, it's inevitable for you, it's your natural state. One way to use this is basically to start the day using that 17-second manifestation method. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, do not grab your phone. Do not get out of bed. Do not do anything. Just sit there. You can be with your eyes closed or with your eyes open, but can you, for 17 seconds only, you don't have to spend any more time than that, can you, for 17 seconds only, imagine that you already have your desire? Imagine that you're living in your dream house. Imagine that you're in the arms of your specific person and they say, I love you. Imagine that you have the money. Imagine that you got the job and you're celebrating with your friends. Imagine that you got that promotion. Imagine that you just won that trip. Imagine whatever it is that you want to manifest. Just for 17 seconds, fully focus on that. Do not let any other thoughts distract you for just 17 seconds. And then you can get up and go about your day. But this will have programmed your brain so differently than just checking Instagram in the morning that it will make a huge difference on what your brain observes during the day, what it points out to you. You notice that the things that you notice during the day are different compared to before. And then when you're at the office or at work or during your lunch break, again, instead of grabbing your phone as the first thing you do, how about spending 17 seconds fully immersed in having your desire? Imagine what it is that you want to manifest in your reality and fully immerse yourself in this new life, in having this for 17 seconds. Just 17 seconds, then you can go about your day. I mean, 17 seconds is something that you can do when you're in the bathroom. You don't even have to take an actual break for it. Nobody has to know. And because it's just 17 seconds, you can do it as many times as you want during the day. And if you do it every hour or every couple of hours, this guarantees that you spend your day living from the end, immersed in this reality of my desire is already mine. Because Neville Goddard says that during the day you will be penetrated by other states. That means you will be pulled out of the state of the wish fulfilled. But the more time you spend in the state of the wish fulfilled, and the more natural and effortless that is, in other words, the less you have to strain to get back into the state of the wish fulfilled or to maintain it, the more easily your desire manifests. So what if you just created one visualization scene, or you just caught the feeling of what it is that you desire, and every few hours you just spend 17 seconds getting back into that feeling, or getting back into that short visualization. And then you let go and went about your day. But that ensures that you keep putting yourself back into the state of the wish fulfilled, and you're never out of the state of the wish fulfilled for long, I mean, even if something negative happens, even if you're completely pulled to a different direction, in just 17 seconds, you just bring yourself back. And bring yourself back again after a few hours, and bring yourself back again after a few hours. And when you're about to go to bed at night, you just spend 17 seconds getting back into that feeling. And that programs your mind to keep manifesting this desire to basically stay in the state of the wish fulfilled while you sleep. So you keep manifesting while you sleep. And it's as easy as that. So try this method for a couple of weeks, and you will see how much difference it is going to make and how easy it is to stay in the state of the wish fulfilled, and how much more effortlessly things manifest in your reality. And if you enjoyed this video, then hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because I put out new videos every Sunday to help you manifest an amazing life.